The Toyota Celica was in production from 1970 to 2006. The name for the Celica came from the Latin word Coachella, which means heavenly or celestial. In Japan, if you wanted to buy a new Celica, you'd have to go to an exclusive Toyota Corolla dealership. The first generation ranged from 1970 to 1977. The first 2 years of the Celica, runs were limited and was changed to meet Japanese engine displacement regulations, and soon got a facelift. In August of 1972, the taillights were changed from one-piece to two-piece taillights, resembling the Ford Mustang. This new Celica, called the Liftback, wasn't available for the public until July of 1974 for export, and was introduced to the Japanese market in April of 1973 and made 105 horsepower. The second generations ranged from 1977 to 1981. Toyota wished to offer a stylish convertible as an alternative to the coupe. The convertible had a folding rear roof similar to the '67 Porsche 911 convertible, and it managed to make 121 base horsepower. This sold a bit better than the first generation, selling 2,000 vehicles, and helped carve Celica's future. August of 1981 is when the third generation made its first appearance, and was initially only available in the coupe and the liftback. The liftback was considerably more popular. The US finally got one in 1984, as well as getting the bigger engine that the ones in the other countries did not get. The 2.4 liter became the biggest four-cylinder ever offered in a Celica, making 120 base horsepower. In 1984, the Celica was facelifted to include pop-up headlights and a new grille. The taillights were also updated. This would be a big step for the Celica. In 1984, the vision for the Celica changed, now had a rounder body and front-wheel drive. No longer a Toyota A platform, the Celica was now a Toyota T platform, meaning the whole body style was revamped. It was now offered in both front-wheel and four-wheel drive, and was aimed towards the lower-tier Japanese market, made 180 base horsepower. Toyota designed the ultimate Celica, the GT4 in 1986, with full-time all-wheel drive, an upgraded differential, and it was immediately placed under the spotlight as the greatest Celica yet. It came with a 2-liter inline-4 turbo, making 190 base horsepower and 190 pounds of torque. However, the exported Celica had a reduced output and a more eco-friendly model. The fourth gen ranged from 1989 to 1993 and stuck to the same recipe as the fourth gen with a coupe, convertible, and a liftback. Also got an upgraded front end and wheels and tires. This generation is when Toyota decided to push to the 21st century with ABS and cruise control. Also included a tilt-away steering wheel, leather seats, a sportier interior, and a sunroof to make the Celica feel more luxurious. The only thing going for this car is made 225 brake horsepower and offered a four-wheel drive model. From 1993 to 1999, Toyota changed the styling of the front end again and gave the Celica the looks of the Toyota Soarer. It came in the same three body styles and also offered four-wheel drive. But the GT4 now made the most power of any Celica ever, making 239 brake horsepower from factory, and saved weight by using an all-aluminum hood, and making more power using an upgraded turbocharger. The Celica competed again in the 1995 WRC, but was banned for turbocharger fixing. They were banned for a year because they used a device that would make no air path restriction on the intake, and went unknown by the inspectors. Toyota claimed they knew nothing about it, but the competition claimed otherwise. In August of 1995, the Celica SS III was added to the front bumper and was slightly changed. The seventh generation was the final evolution of the Toyota Celica. It looked just like the XYR concept with the front bumper and spoiler. Toyota tried to lighten the car as much as possible and tried to make it as cheap as possible to follow the original Celica dream of a cheap sports car for the JDM market. The sunroofs are made of a polymer plastic instead of glass, and only one power window lock was in the car to save costs from multiple switches. Japan continued the SS1 and the SS2 trims, and Toyota even offered a super strut package which came with an upgraded suspension, but only made 182 brake horsepower. Toyota no longer wanted Celica to rally as much, and wanted to lean towards a circuit racing car. They ended up winning the GT300 class Japanese GT Championship and the Super GT until 2008, which is when they switched to the LS350 in Race 3 that season, which is also the last year of Toyota Celica production. The Celica's time had ended, but carved a new path for the car industry by showing how successful a budget car can be in the dirt and on the track.